Yo, what is going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Kamen Revice episode 21. This is a great episode, guys. This was a big win for the bad guys here, and this episode was absolutely amazing. And the new Kamen Demons is Oteka. He has stolen the Demon's driver and has now become the new Oteka. And even the driver itself was like, "You're a demon. You smell like us." And also we see that gifts gift basically is about to be released essentially. And also we see that it affects demons. It makes them, it affects Vice. It makes Vice's head hurt a lot. And yeah, basically almost to the point he gets ready to pass out. And also we after Daiji and Iki go and talk to Phoenix and also talk to George. They talk about basically saying that Hiromi knew that he was a lab rat, and I feel like that was a whole lie. But Hiromi knew that he was a lab rat and all that stuff. And also George was like, yeah, George basically takes them to the head director, and the director is like, what we want to do is we want to use GIF to disconnect people from their demons, like completely disconnect them from their demons, so people don't have to worry about demons coming out and stuff out of them anymore. And that's still shady because the way that they're doing that is really, really weird. And also we find out that the director is the man who created the dead man's cult. It was pretty freaking obvious, but he's the one that created the dead man's cult, and he's the one that inevitably ends up giving Oteka the demon's driver. And also Oteka gives him the gift stamp, the real gift stamp, because turns out the gift stamp that Aguilera and Tamaki had basically was a fake gift stamp. After we see Sakura go to them both, fight Oteka, beat Oteka, not fight Oteka, she is beating Aguilera, goes and fights Aguilera and takes that gift stamp away from them. She brings it back home, and that's when they get, and Iki is very surprised that she was able to beat Aguilera by herself. And also we see that Vice actually says, oh, but this is fake. Yeah, this is fake. I'm not a demon for nothing, dude. This thing is fake. All kinds of fake. So they're wondering what the real gift stamp is, and turns out Oteka had the real gift stamp all along. But also when also with the whole gift thing, we see that it's also affecting Iki's father, because he didn't have, from his x-rays that we saw earlier in the series, we know that he doesn't have a heart. Like, the place where his heart's supposed to be is gone. And he starts to feel that, and he starts to see images of GIF in his head. That's freaking it was that. But I know I'm all over the place, but but also we see that Hiromi is basically getting ready to leave Phoenix. He's basically getting ready to leave Phoenix. He talks to George, and he tells George, like, he tells him thanks for everything and all that stuff, and he gets ready to punch George. And George is like, you're not gonna let it hit me? And he's like, all right, I'm out. And after he leaves, then George is like, well, now you don't have to fight, so you won't die. And after that, we see him going. We see Hiromi leaving, and he sees the director going back to the heading back to the lab, and he sees the director go in there. For some reason he's standing there watching. He stands there and watches him. And after that, we get an attack. Also we see Sakura also get invited to her friend that's a student with her, that's a karate student with her. He goes and asks her, hey, you want to come to dinner at my house tonight? So she ends up going, and she ends up getting attacked by a whole bunch of like regular people. And it looks like they were robbing the place, but she fights a whole bunch of people, and she ends up fighting all of them, and going all the way down to the bottom of the stairs and finding like this big like base basically. And they basically say that this family is like, oh yeah, we're like we created this organization called the Weekend. And basically this they basically created this organization because they're watching all of Phoenix's things, and they don't trust Phoenix at all. And the whole thing of this episode is like, yeah, we don't trust Phoenix, don't trust Phoenix, all that stuff, right? So they don't trust Phoenix, and they basically asked her to join them. Basically he was like, yeah, you getting down here was your first test. Now your next test is gonna be you finding the real gift stamp and bringing it back to us, which is still shady because right now there's a lot of trust issues going on. And we see that the family is we're entering a time where the family seems like it's getting very divided, and Iki might most likely will be stuck in the middle because he's the oldest and stuff like that, and he's the one that cares about the bathhouse more than everybody else. So I feel like Iki is going to be the one that's going to be stuck in the middle. But Sakura, she basically says, she leaves, basically she doesn't join them. But also we find out that the Weekend is the ones that gave her driver. They're the ones that basically sent her the driver that she's using now, which was great. I'm glad that mystery is solved. I'm glad that whole thing is resolved, because we were still wondering, where did she get her driver from? Because it wasn't Gift. He didn't bring it. I mean, it wasn't a George. He didn't give it to her. And he also said that he scrapped that. So I guess they took a scrapped driver and, fixed it up and gave it to her. But also they want her to join them and bring them back the real gift stamp. So that's when she goes and meets up at Aguilera and Takumi. She ends up getting the gift stamp back from both of them. The fake one. The fake one. Oteka has the real one, gives it to the director. Then Oteka gets the demon stamp. He basically causes alarms and stuff to go off in the Phoenix base. When that happens, basically the whole base gets ready to be crash land and stuff like that, basically trying to destroy the main Phoenix headquarters and stuff like that. And it's all just a big plan. It's all a big diversion. I don't think they would destroy the entire Phoenix place with Gift, with Gift still in there. That's a big risk. It was a risk they were willing to take, though, just to go through a plan. But Daiji and Iki are talking about Phoenix and stuff like that, and Iki's like, yeah, we can't trust Phoenix, and Daiji's like, yeah, but I'm still one of them. I'm still one of Phoenix. But I'm gonna keep my eye out and stuff like that. But so the brothers seem like we're hitting a point where everybody's gonna get divided when it comes down to trusting Phoenix. And yeah, so while the place is getting ready to be like shut down and stuff like that, we see Daiji end up going. We see Oteka escaping, and he's like standing on the flight deck, and that's when Daiji comes in, and we have seen Oteka henching into Kamen Rider demons, and he's also a lot more powerful because the demon's driver is a demon itself. So a demon hitching with a demon made it a lot, and I mean made him a lot more powerful. So he's fighting Daiji, and they ended up falling off the Phoenix base, and actually falling like thousands and thousands of feet all the way to this wasteland. They're sitting there fighting each other, and they ended up we see that Demons ends up defeating Live, which hurt me because Live is my favorite writer in this series. He ends up getting defeated, and we ended up that's when Hiromi comes in, and he blasts because earlier in the fight, Live ended up losing his gun, and then that's how he ended up getting defeated. And we end up seeing that's when Hiromi gets there, starts shooting him and stuff starts shooting demons and stuff like that, or Oteka starts shooting Oteka and stuff. It's not affecting him, and he ends up hitting Hiromi in the like Hiromi in civilian clothes, taking a rider attack, and he ends up using that drill move, ends up hitting him with that. And after he gets hit, we see Hiromi is all messed up and stuff. And also, thanks to Hiromi, the base still landed, but it didn't crash. Nothing blew up or anything like that. So thanks to Hiromi, that happened. But we also see that that's when that's when Iki and Sakura basically get there and they try to help Hiromi, but Hiromi ends up getting blasted off the side of a cliff. So so Hiromi is presumed dead. I'm not gonna say he's dead, but he is presumed dead. So that's when everybody hinges up. Well, it's just Iki and Sakura and Vice. They hinge it up. They end up taking on Oteka, and they can't beat him. They can't beat him. Even when they turned into a volcano, they still could not beat him. And they ended up figuring out that he is a lot stronger than regular, Hiromi with demons, because he's able to use all the stamps that he has. The bat, it was a bat stamp, the scorpion stamp, the cobra, all those stamps. He's able to use them. The praying mantis stamp, the scorpion stamp, and he ends up using both of them at the same time, and ends up growing the grasshopper legs and a giant scorpion tail, and he ends up using his final on them and hitting all three of them multiple times, and that's how they ended up getting defeated. And it was, man, that last kick he did was absolutely awesome. I just hate that it was on our heroes, and I hate that it's not Hiromi doing it. But man, it was absolutely phenomenal. And that's when, Oteka ends up leaving. And the next episode, we see that he's going to talk to Aguilera, and he also still has the real gift stamp. So we end up seeing when that happens, we see the real we see the gift statue start to glow. It started to pulse and stuff, and it's shooting out like these little red glittery things in the air and stuff like that. And the director is having a field day with it, laughing maniacally with it. And that's when we get the scene with the dad feeling that stuff in his chest and seeing those visions and stuff. And then that we see the brothers and their mom and Vice like sitting there, and we see Vice is crying because it seems like Hiromi is dead. And the episode basically ends off right there. We also see Sakura has basically made her decision to join the weekend, because even before Hiromi died, he said that Phoenix is definitely hiding something. You guys have to be careful. And that's when he got shot off the cliff. But other than that, man, this is a great episode. It was a big win for our bad guys, and I can't wait to see what happens next and further on this story, because there's a lot going on. This episode was a lot, just like the last episode. This episode was a lot. But other than that, guys, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, and remember, stay henshined.